All right, and next we've got sentencing and People v. Matthew Reppenhagen. It's three file numbers, 24-6942 FH, attempted witness intimidation, a 2-year high court misdemeanor, 0 to 9 guidelines, 24-6943 FH, possession of buprenorphine, 4-year felony, 0-17 guidelines, and 24-6944 FH, witness intimidation, a 4-year felony, 0-17 guidelines. Counsel, please state your appearances.
Melissa Goodrich, one county prosecutor.
Kevin Pomeranke, MIDC, appointed counsel on behalf of defendant Matthew Reppenhagen, who is seated to my right this morning.
Great, thank you. And Mr. Pomeranke, have you had a chance to review the pre-sentence report and recommendations with Mr. Reppenhagen?
I have, Your Honor, and as far as factual things go, there are no additions or corrections.
Any scoring challenges?
There are no challenges to scoring, and we agree with the guideline ranges are.
Ms. Goodrich, any additions, corrections, or scoring challenges from the people?
No, you're right.
Mr. Pomeranke, anything you want to say on behalf of your client?
Yes, just briefly, Your Honor. I've gotten to know Mr. Reppenhagen throughout the past few months, Your Honor, working these three files. Every encounter that I've had with him has been pleasant. After reading through the material in the case, which was somewhat highlighted throughout the PSI, I understand that Mr. Reppenhagen is probably in a much better place now psychologically than he was when these warrants were issued and when he was arrested. I think he's had a substantial time to think about his conduct and behavior and how he has managed or ill-managed some of the bigger things that led to his using again. My understanding, talking to Mr. Reppenhagen and reading this material, that he was able in his life to put his substance abuse behind him for some time, and it crept back into his life, and it's had some pretty devastating consequences. It's also not enabled him to be able to deal with other consequences, perhaps out of his control or within his control in his life. And I think this, especially the last charge, is a culmination of everything sliding off the rails. And I think Mr. Reppenhagen lashed out certainly inappropriately. However, I think he's a lot more grounded now. In talking with him, he has been in counsel with his clergy, who's been in to visit him on a pretty frequent basis throughout his stay so far. They're working on getting him potential employment lined up for when he is released in the future, as well as looking at developing other supports in the community for him, as he'll have to endure a new chapter of his life and pretty much start over. However, I believe he's ready or preparing for the ready to be able to do that. Your Honor, with that, I would say he is employable. He is amendable to everything that is being asked of him in the recommendations. And I believe this is an individual that has succeeded before in probation and could succeed again. I know the recommendation for the last file in this matter recommends an additional 9 months. We're asking that the court consider that part of that 9 months may be held in abeyance, so that Mr. Reppenhagen can potentially taste some part-time work or seasonal work this summer. There are certainly probably more opportunities to make some money around here in the summer than there are in the winter. However, we respect the department's recommendation. We ask that the court consider all that. I know Mr. Reppenhagen would like to address this court briefly.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Henrique. Mr. Reppenhagen, is there anything you want to say, sir?
Yeah, you want to stand up?
Sure.
I just want to apologize to the victim here. I know we're not supposed to use his name, so I just wanted to take the time to apologize to him and his family for all this stuff. And like my friend was saying, that I've been going to church in AA since I've been locked up, and working on the sober things sober as best I can. Like I said, I just asked the courts for an opportunity to prove that. So thank you.
All right, thank you, sir. Mr. Goodrich, any recommendations from the people?
Oh, yes, Your Honor, thank you. The defendant is 33 years old. He has 1 prior felony and 3 prior misdemeanors. He has a history of substance abuse, has already served 2 terms of probation, 2 jail sentences. In 2010, he served 3 months. In 2020, he served 6 months. For these 3 cases, he had sold his prescription to a confidential informant, then had threatened him thereafter. He was incarcerated but released to residential, had walked away after 9 days, and then did further threats to that CI, which brings us here today. He has been incarcerated for 272 days. I would ask the court to follow the recommendation in the PSI.
Thank you, Mr. Reppenhagen. If you please stand for the court sentence. You know, Mr. Reppenhagen, you're in your 30s now, and although you're certainly not unknown to the local criminal justice system and authorities. You made it to 30 without much of a felony record at all, and you had a couple controlled buys of prescription Suboxone. That's serious. It's felony. That's not the end of the world. And you took a bad situation and made it unnecessarily worse for yourself by kind of lashing out toward the CI that had arranged those purchases. It's not their fault, right? I mean, they arrange it, but nobody made you sell that. And my guess is, if you're being honest with yourself, it's not like those are the only 2 instances in the history of the universe of what was going on in your life where you did that. You know, that CI could call me all the day long and I wouldn't sell them drugs because I don't sell drugs. So, and if you want to move forward with recovery, resentments, whether they're real or imagined, are going to get in your way. So you ended up doing more jail time because of your threatening statements made to the CI. I mean, I'm sure you know that. I just want to make sure you appreciate that, and also that you were given an opportunity to go to residential treatment, then you walked off from that. So it's not like anybody in the system was trying to make life hard for you. You made life hard for you. So I hope that, you know, you've had some time to think about that and are gonna think you're capable, obviously, of not getting into all sorts of felony trouble. Now, with the kind of record that you have from this case, if you were to get in felony trouble, the next time it's probably a prison sentence. And this situation could have been a close call for that. Didn't start that way, but it could have become that way. In any event, taking all these things into consideration, including all the information in the pre-sentence report, including the advisory guidelines, it's the sentence of the court in file 6942 that you be ordered to pay $68 in state cost, $130 in the crime victims assessment, $350 in court costs, and that you serve 272 days in the Sheboygan County Jail with credit for 272 days previously served. And that's a sentence within the advisory guidelines. The in file 6943 for the possession of buprenorphine 0 to 17, I'll place you on probation as recommended for 18 months, subject to the terms and conditions listed on pages 3 and 4 in the pre-sentence report. They include treatment, they include a curfew, it includes no contact with the victim in the other cases. It includes full-time employment. I'm going to order you serve or you pay $68 in state cost and $130 in the crime victims assessment. I'm not, Agent Martin, I'm not going to assess paragraph 21 of the court costs. I'm just going to assess it in the one file. So I'm not going to assess the court costs in 6943. I will, in that file, also order that you serve 272 days of jail, give you credit for 272 days previously served. And again, that's a sentence within the advisory guidelines. In file 6944, witness intimidation. There's $68 in state cost, $130 is a crime victims assessment. I am not going to order court costs in that file either. Now that was committed while you were on escape status from having walked off on furlough. Under the statute, I believe that is mandatory consecutive sentencing. Even if it were not, I think it would warrant the application of discretionary consecutive sentencing because you were on bond and on a furlough for a similar threat against the same person. So for that, I'm going to follow the recommendation and order that you serve 9 months in the Sheboygan County Jail. You get no credit for any time previously served because this sentence will run consecutive to files 6942 and 6943. I will, however, indicate on the judgment of sentence that the court has no objection to you participating in the CBT program or trustee program of the jail if they determine you eligible for that. And that can take some time off your sentence as well. All right, so, within 24 hours of your release, you have to contact your supervising agent and Mr. Reppenhagen in all 3 files. If you wish to appeal, you can file an application. If you wanted a lawyer, I'd give you one. If you ask within 6 months, so we're going to hand you some appeal paperwork. It's 2 copies in each of these 3 files. One of them we're going to ask you to initial, so we have a record that we gave it to you, and the other one is for you to fill out if you want to take an appeal. Do you have any questions for me, sir?
No, sir.
Okay, good luck to you. Thank you, Mr. Pomeranke. Is that all you have this morning?
That's all I have. Thank you, Your Honor.
(4-6874) Counsel, you want to state your appearances, please?
Melissa Goodrich, Sheboygan County Prosecutor.
Liz Elliott on behalf of Brianna Gaffney, who is to my right.
Good morning, and this appears that it was a successful delay period with a plea agreement for a reduction to the misdemeanor child abuse 4th degree. Have you had a chance to review that pre-sentence report with your client?
I have, Your Honor.
Do you have any additions or corrections?
I don't.
Anything you'd like to say on her behalf?
Yes, Your Honor, thank you. Your Honor, Brianna has proven herself by her performance while she's been on probation. She's complied with all of the terms. She works full-time. She takes care of her 2 young children. And we agree with the Department of Corrections here and are asking the court to follow the recommendations and deem the delay period successful and enter the misdemeanor charge that's set forth in the plea agreement. Brianna also wants to let the court know that the bench warrant in Kent County has been taken care of, and she is on a payment plan with that court. Thank you.
Okay, very good. Thank you. Ms. Gaffney, you don't have to tell me anything today, but it is allowed. Is there anything you want to say?
I definitely have learned the laws about this situation. It was a complete accident, and I do appreciate the court's opportunity for the delay of sentence.
Thank you. Ms. Goodrich, any recommendations from the people?
Yes, Your Honor, I also support the recommendations. My only concern was the bench warrant, and I appreciate that Ms. Gaffney took care of that.
Okay, Ms. Gaffney, it appears that you did well on the delay of sentence. I'm glad to see that. I'm glad to see you doing well. So I hope you continue on a healthy path for yourself and for your family. The court would find that the terms of the delay were successfully completed, so upon presentation of an amended charging document, which the prosecutor does have, you accept that, you consent to the filing of that, Ms. Elliott?
Yes, Your Honor, thank you.
All right, so we have the amended information with the misdemeanor charge. We're going to enter a judgment on that count pursuant to the plea agreement. I'm not going to impose any additional jail or probation at all, but because we are entering that judgment of conviction, you may file an appeal if you wish by filing an application. If you wanted a lawyer, I'd give you one, but you'd have to ask within 6 months. We're going to hand you a piece of paper about the appellate rights. Ask you to initial one copy for us, so we have a record we gave it to you, and the other one is for you to fill out if you want to appeal. Do you have any questions for me, Ms. Gaffney?
No, I appreciate it.
Okay, good luck to you.
Thank you.
All right,
Thank you. Have a great day.
you too.